Being Jewish can mean different things to different people. It may mean Shabbat dinners, or tzedakah, or shul every Saturday morning. As history has progressed, the meaning of being Jewish has changed to those a part of the religion and those not. Today, being Jewish doesn't affect my day-to-day life. Growing up, I went to synagogue every Saturday morning, I had a bat mitzvah, and I go to a Jewish sleepaway camp, but in my everyday life, my religion is not something I think about often. However, talking to an older generation of Jews who grew up in Germany, Bulgaria, and DC made it clearer to me how the burden of Judaism has grown lighter over the years. My grandfather, Victor Block, was born on April 1st, 1933 in Washington, D.C. In the 3rd grade, he started at Landon School in Bethesda, Maryland, an all-boys private school. He was the first Jewish student there.
I think most of the boys had not met a Jew. As they got to know me, I think they came to think he's a pretty cool kid, because I was a pretty cool kid. And they did accept me. I went on to do well at the school and be a leader. And so I think maybe their perception of Jewish people might have changed somewhat, having known one.
Although for my father's father in Washington, D.C. in the 1940s, being Jewish wasn't a big deal, across the globe in Germany, my mother's mother had a different experience. My grandmother, Gisela Meyer-Spielberg, was born in 1926 in Berlin, Germany. For her, being Jewish changed the course of her childhood.
Any further schooling had to be in a Jewish school because the public schools would not accept Jews anymore. So I had to go across town, not terribly far by our standards, to this Jewish school where I went from 1937 to 1939.
We suffered discrimination, and my father was imprisoned and put in a concentration camp for 2 weeks.
Southeast of Germany, in Nazi-occupied Sofia, Bulgaria, Leon Benetov's life took a turn for the worse because of his Judaism.
There were anti-Semitic legislation, persecutions, and the Jews from Sofia were deported. I had at that time a sister, 10 months baby, and a family, neighbors, Bulgarian, I can remember, they came to our apartment of my father and asked to take the baby, my sister, to save her.
Leon Benetov spent the rest of the war with families in rural northern Bulgaria. He lived through the Nazi occupation of Sofia as well as the Soviet. Today, he is a volunteer tour guide at Sofia's only active synagogue. My grandfather, Victor Block, went on to do very well at Landon School and attended college at Yale University. My grandmother escaped Nazi Germany and stayed with an English woman named Lady Kahn in Nottingham, England. She reunited with her family and they traveled to Bridgeport, Connecticut to stay with her aunt, uncle, and cousin. Today, I don't have to think or worry about my religion negatively impacting my life. There is a big difference between the way that Judaism has affected the older generation and the way that it affects me and my generation today. Acceptance has come a long way, and even if I don't have to think about my religion every day, it is important to never forget the struggles that Jewish people have endured and the way that being Jewish has changed.